Gentlemen, this is the doctor that was the whistleblower on CV. Well, the Chinese has exonerated him after he dies. They're just as bad as the US government, that make you sit in jail for 40, 50, 60 years. And then all of a sudden, oh, you didn't do that crime. All right, we'll let you go. What a joke. And the Chinese government, you know, the fact that you just completely shut this man down when he was trying to tell you about this virus. This man was trying to tell them about this virus. I think it was like back in September or October of 2019. He was trying to get their attention to tell them about CV, what his findings were. And they shut him down and kept the whole thing hidden. China has exonerated a doctor who officially they reprimanded for warning them about CV and later died of the illness. A startling admission of error by the ruling Communist Party that generally bodes no challenges to its authority. Now, this is the New York Post. March 20th, 2020. The party's top disciplinary body said the police force in Wuhan had revoked its admonishment of Dr. Li Wenliang that had included a threat of arrest when he came forward with his findings of CV. Instead of listening to him, they threatened to throw him in prison. Now look at the state that we're in now. It also said a solemn apology had been issued to Lee's family, and two police officers identified only by surnames had been issued disciplinary punishments for the original handling of the matter. In death, Lee became the face of simmering anger at ruling Communist Party controls over information and complaints that officials lie about or hid the disease outbreak. Industry accidents, natural disasters, financial frauds. So they're just as corrupt as any other government. That's what you're seeing. While punishing whistleblowers and independent journalists. Mm-mm-mm. After seeing thousands of new cases daily at the peak of the city's outbreak a month ago, Wuhan on Friday had its second consecutive day of, very few confirmed cases. The National Health Commission said all of 39 new cases recorded Friday in China were brought from overseas, showing that rigid travel restrictions and social distancing requirements appear to have, some effect. But, you still got the rest of the world struggling. So, this doesn't make anybody feel better. China has loosened some travel restrictions to Hubei, the province surrounding Wuhan. But, they still have, some locations in Wuhan that's still in lockdown. Officials say they will only lift the quarantine after Wuhan goes through 14 consecutive days with no cases. Police in December had reprimanded 8 doctors, including Lee, for warning friends on social media about the emerging threat. China's Supreme Court later criticized the police, but the ruling party continued to tighten its grip on information about the outbreak. The party has faced similar accusations of bungling and thuggish behavior following previous disasters. They include the 2003 outbreak of severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, in 2005, a chemical spill that disrupted water supplies to millions of people in China's northeast, sales of tainted milk that sickened thousands of children, and the failure of private finance companies after the global economic crisis. In each case, officials were accused of trying to conceal or delay information people said they needed to protect themselves. So, look like a lot of people over in China are mad about the way they treated this doctor. And now look at the global fallout behind them trying to, suppress the information he was trying to get to them. The treatment of Lee's case may reflect concerns among the leadership about public anger over the failure to properly honor the frontline people that sacrifice themselves, which are the healthcare workers, while praising the party and its head, Xi Jinping. They're talking about their president, who has tightened controls on society since taking power in 2012. The full since at least the 1980s. Zhang gave himself the option of remaining president for life by changing the Chinese constitution in 2018 to remove a two-term limit. In Wuhan, local leaders were accused of telling doctors in December not to publicize the spreading of CV in order to avoid casting a shadow over the annual meeting of a local legislative body. As the virus spread, doctors were ordered to delete posts on social media that appealed for donations of medical supplies. Now, what is everybody in need of? Medical supplies worldwide. Mm-mm-mm. That prompted complaints. Authorities were more worried about image than public safety. Oh, just like here in America. Lee was detained by police after warning about the virus on social media. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. So instead of listening to this doctor, they arrested him. And ultimately, because he was trying to help people there in Wuhan with CV, he ended up contracting it and dying from it. But this is how his government treated him. And now, as a result of them ignoring this man, we now have a worldwide problem, ladies and gentlemen. Phil did a video on this yesterday, but this one gave you, there's a lot more insight on what happened and what happened to this doctor. This is a disgrace. This is them not listening to this doctor has now caused a worldwide pandemic that could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided, ladies. All of it. Look at where we are now. Cases are going up every single day in the US, and so are the deaths. And there are still more and more countries that are cropping up with the illness now. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. peace, family.